basketball. You're watching the Big 12 on ESPN. And what a scene it is, even more than the usual great scene here at the 5. It's the Jayhawks taking on a program they have rarely seen during the regular season. Kip Kissinger with the toss, and we are underway here at the Phog. Carolina with the opening possession.
Dajuan Harris guarding R.J. Davis. Harris was the Big 12 Defensive Player of the Year a couple years ago.
Seth Trimble, who's already had a very good offensive game in the season opener for the Heels, misses a good look at a three, and it's over to the Jayhawks. Now look at the Kansas starters. Three very familiar names in Harris, Adams, Dickinson, Ryland Griffin, a transfer from Alabama, David Coit, a transfer from Northern Illinois. He gets the assist on the bucket by K.J. Adams.
When Kansas moves the ball from one side of the floor to the other, they become that much more difficult to guard. 5 players moving and the ball moving.
Cadeau, Davis, Trimble, Withers, and Washington. All 5 starters are returnees for the Tar Heels. Playing fast.
Yes.
Dickinson wants a clear out. Kicks it cross court. Shot fake. Coit misses the three. And the rebound down to Jalen Withers. And here come the Heels.
Good block out by Jalen Washington against Hunter Dickinson.
What a burst of speed by Davis and Dajuan Harris.
Played.
Yes.
Dean Smith was a player here at Kansas.
And as they like to tell you, and proudly so, here at Lawrence, this is the pull-up, and too strong as it comes down to Washington.
Good defensive possession for Carolina to force that shot.
For those who haven't seen Carolina yet, how much better? Whoa, as Cadeau goes up top to Washington. How much
has been monumental for this North Carolina team, but he also did say that this has been a very quiet team. And if they want to be a great defensive team, they have to find their voice defensively.
Griffin with the block on Cadeau. The lob for Adams, the assist to Harris, and it's a three-point. Coit not shy, and again, who started the first game. Had a big exhibition game, knocked down a bunch of threes, hit 2 of them in Kansas's opening win in the regular season over Howard. And he's got another assist as Griffin knocks down a 3 to tie it up. Harris back to Dickinson. Doesn't hit the 3, and here comes Carolina in a hurry. Trimble all the way, and it goes!
That's the speed, Dan, of North Carolina. Grabs the defensive rebound on each other's home courts.
This is the 13th all-time meeting. They're all time. A 3-point lead for the Tar Heels in the early going. A couple of changes for Carolina, including Ben Allen Lubin, who's got his hands full.
Design play out of the timeout. Bill Self so good out of timeouts.
And there can get that 5th year. And NIL, guys who are still playing college ball who otherwise wouldn't. This is Zeke Mayo, a transfer from South Dakota State. A great find from Dickinson to Adams. Davis misses the 3. Rebound Dickinson.
Dickinson's a high-level rebounder.
Griffin wide open for 3. And the lead grows for Kansas. There's no calling out plays using your voice in this barn tonight. Drake Powell, one of the top freshmen.
Wrong. I mean, to go against K.J. Adams and take that kind of a bump and to be able to make that play on a broken play, that's big time.
And a cousin of Hubert Davis. A little bit distant, but Hubert was putting the pieces together for us today. Dickinson, Hammer, Harris recovers. Here's Ian Jackson, another highly touted freshman for the Heels out of the Bronx. Davis the drive and draws the foul. Davis at the line for
free throws, all of them by their starting guards. Their big guys did not attempt a single free.
What a rebound again by Adams, the kick. The 3 won't go for A.J. Storr, a transfer from Wisconsin. And back comes Carolina, led by Davis. Jackson, count it, and and it's a one-point game.
Well, give credit to R.J. Davis for that bucket, because with the speed he brought the ball up the court and got into the paint. You cannot jog back against Carolina. You have to sprint.
How about Adams? That's the second 15-footer we've seen him take in the game already.
Well, those are shots I think Hubert Davis is willing to live with.
Trimble has to kick it back out to Jackson. A great athlete, terrific in transition, and a nice find inside to Lubin.
Kansas cannot overcommit defensively and leave a man wide open under the basket. That would have been a tough two for Jackson had he chosen to take it, but you give up an easy layup by overcommitting.
Mayo, the floater will go. The former
a lot deeper.
Trimble bothered by a couple of Jayhawks, including Dickinson. Store, coast to coast, and it's a goaltending call on Jackson. Trimble, baseline. Tried to give it to Washington. Got it back, puts it up, and the rebound to Mayo. Point up top. Store! Cadeau with the soft touch high off the window at the other end for the Heels.
Well, you make a momentum play with a pass ahead and a lob for a dunk, and Carolina's laying it in right after that.
Another good feed from Dickinson to Adams.
That double.
How long? And Badunga is back in, the 6'9" freshman from the Democratic Republic of the Congo. That was him. He's not going to get credit for a block because the whistle had already blown. But
Karch Karai.
Elliot Cadeau at the line. Challenge 1 Eastern on ESPN2. And then at 5 Eastern on ESPN, it'll be Gonzaga and Arizona State. How about the statement that Mark Fuse-Zags made with that blowout win over Baylor?
Unbelievable. Gonzaga has a model program, and they're going to be right there again.
Boy, that's a good looking. And they leave them open. Boy, it's a battle on the boards, and it's won by Kansas. Mayo feeling it and hitting it.
Totally unnecessary.
You know, that's a good point by you. 11-point lead, Kansas.
An elevator screen.
Not this time for Mayo. What a rebound by Badunga. And he stays with it. Gets it back.
DeJuan Harris doing a really nice job at denying the ball to R.J. Davis.
Baseline jumper will go for Jackson. Known more for his driving ability than his shooting.
Powell have both made really good plays, and broken play shows that they have a ton of talent.
Adams to Mayo. Jackson stays with him. Shot clock at 5. Store on the drive, and it'll go.
When A.J. Store gets downhill, he can elevate and finish plays.
A much different system and pace, of course, than playing at Wisconsin. Actually, third school in 3 years for Store. He was a Johnny 2 years ago. Badunga right at Lubin, and he draws the foul.
Of the rim and grabbing that and grabbing it with both hands.
Didn't start playing basketball. He's just getting started, Jay.
Well, lefty that can really put pressure on the rim, on the glass, not allowing second opportunities.
Harris blocked from behind by Jackson. It did hit the rim, so the shot clock went back to 20. Mayo wanted it back. Badunga out of Store. The pull-up from 12 will go. And A.J. Store, you can feel it, you can see it, as he's getting more and more comfortable playing in this system.
When he makes quick decisions, boy, he is really good. And how about Ian Jackson? My goodness.
A quick Adams, another jumper off the back of the iron. And here comes Powell. Grew up a Heels fan. Davis, nice crossover. And the foul on Adams. And you can hear from the...
And I get the point about being out of control, but there's really nothing in the rule book.
In free throw percentage, 86% for his career. Points already in his career. 10-point game with 6 minutes to go in the first half. Another jumper, more of a, that's what Illinois scored almost 21 points per game last year. And a couple of months ago, if you said to Bill Self, do you think he's going to be in your starting five? And everything could change, obviously. I don't think the answer would have been a yes, but some of the other guys, it feels like they've taken a little. Dickinson misses the. Jay, when's the last time you were doing a Carolina game and looked at a Heels lineup that was this small as these five right now?
It's been a long time.
Store to Dickinson. Oh! Count it, and a foul, and he is open.
That the Jayhawks just didn't have last year. And that can help wear down opponents, and certainly
to 21. When you burn a timeout, you get a fresh 10. So Bill Self used a timeout to retain possession, basically.
The media timeout would not have saved them from having to get it across with 1 second, but their own timeout does.
Boy, Hubert Davis can't like that. DeJuan Harris getting back his own.
Carolina's had to play some inexperienced players in this first half.
And as tough an environment, it goes without saying, as there is in college basketball. Harris into the paint, up top, and Badunga slams it home.
I think he's going to shoot a high percentage this year.
Powell, no. Mayo the rebound, but down to Brown. Davis can't hit. And another Carolina foul. Made them both. Trimble. Good defense by Storr, but eventually a foul call, and Trimble will head to the line.
And you give Storr credit for playing really hard there, but you have to keep in mind Memphis in an exhibition game.
So to injury. Mayo looking for Adams, now finds Passmore. Now Adams, and he lays it in. Boy, the ball sure not sticking for the Jayhawks tonight.
KJ Adams limping down court after that stick back.
Cadeau, count it, and a foul.
Strong.
Cadeau completes the three-point play.
I mean, the difference, Dan, is last year that would have really hurt Kansas. They didn't have a lot of options off the bench. This year, there are several more options.
Cadeau gets called for the foul. Pros, but this is the first time that he has been here other than for game day. When he was with Florida, then number 3 Georgia. Going to be a good game down in Oxford, and then Alabama and LSU. All the games also streaming on ESPN+.
I think the 12-team college football playoff has made things more interesting this season.
Keeps more fan bases involved, right? Right down to the end. Cadeau behind the back, and
that's a much better way to do it.
Cadeau of different areas.
He's really shooting the ball with confidence, which opens up his floor game to drive it, and he's an elite passer.
5-second difference between the game clock and the shot clock as Adams backs it out. And now Bill Self hollers out the instructions, and Harris will initiate the offense.
Got to think they're looking for Dickinson here on the weak side.
Just brought him back into the game with the last whistle. There it is. Misses the hook, and time for Carolina. Powell. End to end. And that's going to count. It sure looked good there for the freshman James Brown. And
Powell with the miss, and a really good job by Brown to grab that rebound. Dickinson didn't get a block out.
Loud in here right now. Underway here in the second half. And Kansas with the first possession, up by 15. Griffin. Adams takes a bump from Withers. Dickinson. Yes.
Boy, those Kansas big guys do not just stand around and wait for the ball to get to them. They will move into an open area, and they work so well together.
Withers and Washington both back in to start the second half after missing a lot of the first half with foul trouble as R.J. Davis knocks down a jumper. This is the mid-range jumper.
That is not a good shot to take a challenge, too. That gets Carolina out in transition.
Trimble takes the foul and finishes. He's got a chance for three.
Boy, it's amazing, Dan, how they...
And a guy who, as you were talking about, Scott and Ingram, Washington and Withers were the backups at the 4 and 5. They are the starters this year. But Trimble almost picked the pocket of Dickinson, who follows up his miss.
Really quick off the floor with that second jump to tap that in.
Trimble, what an athlete he is. Great body control in midair. And traffic by Withers.
KJ Adams so good out of that short roll as a playmaker.
Cadeau, and what a cut by Davis.
Well, you thought that was going to go to
Junior, and he's going to be coming out. Zeke Mayo has come to check in. So looking forward to the rematch next year at the Dean Dome. Harris off to Adams, in and out. Harris the floater. Nobody really challenged him.
When you get second opportunities, Kansas is going to hurt you.
Withers made a couple of threes against Elon in the season opener for the Heat.
He started his career in Louisville. Chris Mack recruited him there.
Fifth-year player, now a turnover. They're running. They got numbers. Cadeau.
Oh.
And Carolina is getting right back in. Interesting guy. Obviously played behind Armando Bacot the last couple of years, so not a ton of available minutes. He had some injuries. You'll recall a big game that he had in Virginia as Zeke Mayo knocks down another three for Kansas. And a steal now by Storr. Ahead to Mayo. Back to Storr. Balance runner goes for Cadeau as he draws another foul.
Cadeau is so clipped that bump in his chest and still finished the play. And down.
And it's been that way since the moment it began. Harris playing with 3 fouls. Swings it to Dickinson. Turnaround, no, and a late whistle and a call. A friendly bounce for Dickinson.
What that young man he is.
Second foul on Adams.
Zeke Mayo is top blocking R.J. Davis. That means he's playing on top of him. That's going to be a foul on Badunga.
Yeah, boy, that was some determination there by Lubin. Lubin spent a year at Notre Dame.
He's tough. He's got some versatility, and he can rebound.
You say about a Carolina team, but again, the composition of this roster is a lot different than your typical North Carolina squad.
Well, they're not as big, but Hubert Davis is talking to his team a lot about size isn't the factor in rebounding.
Yep.
It's about heart and going after the ball, and that's something they're going to have to continue to develop.
He talked about Harrison Ingram's rebounding numbers without being a 6'11 guy. A corner three.
And that is not a shot that last year you would have expected.
Kansas with the ball and a 7-point lead. Adams. Blocked from behind. Badunga cleans it up. And, whoa, Badunga the block and then Lubin the slam.
We are seeing some confrontations at the rim. How good is this?
70-63 with more than 12 minutes to go. Mayo got his man in the air and buries it.
Well, he has got a lot of game, doesn't he? That step back three he made, the shot fake and short jumper.
Played in the NCAA tournament a year ago, scored 19 against Iowa State. Davis fouled by Coit.
All new team, completely new players for Kentucky. Jackson Robinson is really an elite offensive coach. They're going to shoot a lot of threes, and they're going to much time. They don't get that much time to shoot a ball in a horse game.
Powell back in, so two freshmen on the floor right now for Carolina. Jackson and Powell, and a strip there by Harris. Whoa! Everybody else is dunking, and DeJuan Harris Jr. said, let me have a little bit of that. Boy, and now he is harassing R.J. Davis, but he got called for the foul. Kansas number 4 on Harris.
It takes their most reliable in the impetus for the foul.
For 13 from the floor, he is 9 of 11 from the line.
And Kansas has to limit fouls in this second half. They fouled a little bit too much.
Storr, and knocks down the 3. Again, he is known much more as an athlete, a driver, rather than a shooter. Well, that's got Kansas back out to a double-digit lead.
You cannot bring a slow double team to Hunter Dickinson. It's got to be on the flight of the ball as he's catching it. Once he catches it, if you go after that, he'll pick you apart.
Storr, second team All Big Ten a year ago with Wisconsin. Nice turnaround by Van Allen Lubin.
And a tough move with single coverage for that little turnaround jumper over his right shoulder.
Boy, a real blue-collar guy, but he's going to give the Tar Heels some good minutes. Storr to Mayo. Kept alive, but into the hands of Trimble. Ahead to Jackson, and he's fouled by Coit.
And knocked down that 3.
Six brothers.
I have one brother, and it's a lot.
Storr from the baseline, around and out. And here comes Trimble. Right at Dickinson, and a foul will send him to the line. Trimble, who averaged 5 a game last year, set a career 16, Jay, in the first 2 games of the season.
Well, he's a relentless attack guard.
Davis, nice look. Withers. It is a 2-point game. Timeout, Bill Self.
Has shot 27 free throws in this game to Kansas's 11 free throw attempts, and Carolina's made 25 of their 27 free throw attempts. And it's Kansas really fouling guards on a lot of tough twos.
But it was going well with him on the bench.
Yeah, you have to trust that your senior point guard means he's going to draw KJ Adams in all likelihood if they're not switching.
And let's see if Kansas mans up a little more cleanly on this trip. It looks like they have. Davis got the switch. Withers is open again. And this time he hits it, and it is a 1-point game.
Dickinson stayed on the ball.
5 minutes in.
Tough assignment here for A.J. Storr to try to stay with R.J. Davis.
Withers thought about it, puts it on the deck, and Carolina's on top.
Boy, what a great play.
And a big, big part of this comeback. What is the Kansas response?
Well, you certainly can't pick up your dribble. Kansas has to move it more from side to side.
Harris the floater. KU back on top.
After our finish, Dan.
Kevin, Coach, thanks very much. Knocked away, Carolina ball. Dan Shulman, Jay Bilas here at the Fog. A 1-point game, and a block is called. Trimble has made all
from the foul line. Remarkable.
And he always liked when the but he did enough to bother him, and it's Carolina ball.
Well, he forced him to shoot it over instead of giving Hunter Dickinson an angle to the basket. Great pass.
And the lead grows to 3 for Carolina. Boy, what a gutsy performance. And this is the services of Lubin for the rest of the night. Jalen Washington has returned. Harris off the glass and good. High degree of difficulty there for DeJuan Harris Jr.
Well, Hunter Dickinson was trying to move Jalen Washington up the lane, and he couldn't be a shot blocker.
Trimble, strong move and finish. What a night for Seth Trimble.
He is a man out there. What a big-time move by Seth Trimble.
19 now on the night for the junior. Storr. Williams on the deck. It bounces to Dickinson. Mayo's the open man. And a foul call going against Kansas. Not only is it the fourth on Dickinson, it also sends Washington.
It's a big number to overcome.
5 very early in the game. Kansas's biggest lead, 20 on a couple of occasions back in the first half.
Boy, North Carolina's defense in this second half has been outstanding.
Boy, very aggressive, assertive move there by Dickinson. Would have given the Jayhawks the lead. Davis, no. Boy, how did that not go down? And back comes Harris. Adams trailing the play, now getting in there. Harris can't shake Cadeau. Storr. Back to Dickinson, 8 to shoot. Mayo baseline. And Cadeau is called for a foul. On ESPN. Mayo makes them both, and this game is tied. Not for long. Cadeau, another great pass, this time to Washington.
They just cleared out R.J. Davis and let Jalen Washington roll down the middle of the lane. A terrific play by Washington to finish. Mayo
off a screen, couldn't get the shot off. Forces it up, and it goes. Withers open in the corner, and it's out of bounds to the Jayhawks.
To run something to get Hunter Dickinson an angle. And there it is. They cleared out the side.
Over the top, lays it in. Kansas by 2. And a whistle that nobody could hear, but a timeout was called by... Inside a minute to go. Will it be Davis? Right now it's Cadeau, now to the All-American and Davis. Shot clock at 5. Cadeau with the drive off the foot of Dickinson, and that is good. Cadeau to inbound. Mayo trying not to give Davis any room. Washington, a corner 3. And it's down to Storr. And he can make those shots. He didn't take a ton last year, but he shot a good percentage. But that one wouldn't go, and it's Kansas ball. 7 seconds between the game clock and the shot clock. No double team. Now here comes the swipe. And a foul by Trimble will send Dickinson to the line. Dickinson trying to make it a 2-possession game. He does not. 10 seconds to go. A 3-point game. Washington to Cadeau. He's got to get a shot off. And Kansas will win it. A tremendous comeback by Carolina to actually take the lead at times in the second half, but Kansas executes better in the last couple of minutes, and in just a whale of a basketball game, they beat Carolina 92-89.